GM. GM. So Bitcoin here on Friday the 8th of December. Bitcoin is just consolidating as alts run. You want to keep an eye on BTC. You know, alts are going to be going crazy. They're going to be distracting you, but don't take your eyes off Bitcoin, because what happens next with BTC will determine the market. If we're going to have a deeper correction, it's going to come from Bitcoin first. And so you can see the difference here. Bitcoin is hanging around, sort of grinding lower with no support really. ETH has outperformed, pushed into new highs. And some alts are running like ARB. Sol also breaking out at the moment. Right? So you want to be on high alert. Take a look at the data over here. So you can see now on the 1 hour, Bitcoin has lost the 50 MA for the first time since this move up. So the first time this month, we are firmly below the 50 MAs. Now, for alts to have maximum potential to run, you want to see Bitcoin reclaim, push to the highs. It probably false breakouts and then goes lower and forms a wider base for Bitcoin to eventually go up. That's like the bull case. The bear case is that there's no demand for BTC right now because alts are being chased, and we might have a deeper leverage shakeout before Bitcoin eventually bounces and goes up. So I think whether Bitcoin goes up or down, I think alts are going to keep running, but you want to be you want to be on your toes with that because it's late stage rotations. We've got Bonk running. I'll cover Bonk and trade of the day. We've got Solana and Injective breaking out to new highs. So we'll take a look at some of the data. Bitcoin open interest, a bit of a divergence here on the 1 hour, where OI was basically pushing to new highs, while price was declining. Price was down. OI was flat, if not just making new highs. Bitcoin fucking funding way up here as it drops. That's not good. Talked about this in trading analysis before I went to sleep. You don't want to see that. You really don't want to see Bitcoin funding rate ramping up while price goes nowhere. That would tell me that futures are supporting the market. You can see here on the low time frame with spot CVD as well. The spot selling since the very top has been more aggressive. CVD is useful on low time frame, right? Short time periods, 1 or 2 days. Beyond that, it loses any signal. Because when you zoom out far enough, CVDs are always pointing down, right? They're always, even with this entire rally, if you were just watching CVDs, you would have thought, oh, sell it. That's not necessarily how it works. So Ethereum, same thing. Big spike of funding here. Solana keeps pushing, and so what I'm looking at with Solana, which is the warning sign I mentioned in my daily lesson yesterday, the pattern recognition one, it would be Solana kind of looking at it compared to Ethereum from 2020. So this was here's the chart I shared in trading analysis. In daily lessons. If you look at it on the lower time frame, there's a 60-minute chart, and go back to 2020, August. August. Here. So this was Ethereum, right, in 2020. And this is Solana now, 2023, right? So looking at this, you could view it one of two ways. Solana might be here right now, right, where it distributes a little bit, sells off, but into a trap before the final push, which would equal the top. That being if it's sort of earlier in its distribution phase. We could also be at this point, which would mean that right now you want to be on high alert for any potential weakness as this pushes above the highs. Right? You can see here when you zoom in that we've pushed up into the highs, impulsing away from it. So if you see Sol pushing and then starting to drop back, and if it starts to get back to that level there, you want to be very mindful, because that could be the final trap before a deeper correction. I would say, timing-wise, where we are, I would say it's actually more likely that we're here in the green circle rather than the black circle. Why? Because I don't think the market is actually done. I think the rallies can go further. I think there's many altcoins that haven't had their big runs yet, right? And funding rates are getting elevated. So I do expect Solana to come all the way back down into this liquidity. But I also think that could be a trap, especially as we're in December and we should have some kind of decent bullish momentum for the rest of the year. That can take us down into December into a trap and then rally all the way into January. And then that's the top. I do think a January top makes more sense. But of course, the market doesn't have to do what I think. And essentially, when we run out of buyers, it's going to go down. So have we ran out of buyers yet? Is dumb money here? Is retail really back? I think the answer is yes. The question is how much. I think there's no doubt that retail are starting to come back in slowly. When we talk about the concept of dumb money, smart money, all of that, it's just a case of, if it doesn't matter how much you know about crypto or how long you've been in crypto. If you missed the entire move and you were in, right, so if you're new to crypto, this doesn't count, right? If you're new, you don't know what you don't know, you're learning. But let's say you were around in the 2020, 2021 bull run and you got wrecked in 2022 and you kind of rage quit and went away and you didn't stick around like all of you stuck around with me and with Adam, with Sillard, and kept learning and kept believing in crypto and kept buying and allocated spot and have caught some or most of this rally. If you weren't that, if there was somebody who dipped out and are coming back now, they would be considered dumb money for this rally. Because it's okay to miss Solana at 8, it's okay to miss it at 15, it's okay to miss it at 20, it's okay to miss it at 25. But that big breakout at 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, there's levels within that. We've been trading Solana since what? $30, $40? So to now be coming in, just think about it. Where is your upside when you buy $72 Solana on the 8th of December, whenever it's been gone up since the 23rd of October? There's really no, right? There's no edge in that. So this is where we go into a very short-term traders market, which is excellent for traders like us. And what you want to do is wait for significant corrections like the one I show on the screen and get yourself positioned when price gives you a signal. So for me, it would be there. Be in the blue box, right? Now, it's not going to look exactly like this, but some things you want to see. You want to see 1, 2, 3 pushes, at least. So there was 1 here, 2, 3, and then we swept it. 4 on Ethereum back in 2020. Something like that. It doesn't have to look exactly like that, but you would ideally want to see something like that. Also, if we can drop back below the dotted red line here, what will that do? What will happen if we drop below the dotted red line? That will bring out all the bears, who there are still fucking many of them, far too many. I'm surprised they have any money left. Who are coping, and they'll call top. They'll call swing failure pattern, they'll call deviation. And, by the way, as soon as we're below there, they are right. You certainly don't want to buy here. You don't want to buy here. You don't want to buy here. When you get a nice, deep flush, and we're down towards what was previously strong support, and will act as support again. Remember, 58 is the big level on Solana. 58 was the peak of the 2021 May pump. And then we go back, and we look over here, right? Look where 58 is. Perfect. So, see the box I've drawn? That gives you everything you want. That gives you a nice deep correction. That lets the bears come in and say it's the top. That lets the $72, $75, $70, $68, $64 gets all those longs flushed out. And not here, when we get back above 58, that's your best risk reward play for a push into either a lower high, because of course it's not going to follow the Ethereum path exactly. Could be a lower high. It's still a good area to get long. 58, 59, get up to 70, get up to 68. If it's totally weak and it drops all the way back, close at break even. That's asymmetric risk reward. If you get a good entry after others are flushed out, it runs up to 68. Great. Maybe you'll get a run to 80 to 84, get a really nice trade, or it retraces back. You cut at break even, you lose nothing. That's protection of your capital. Remember, now is not the time to take a big high time frame, long-term bullish position on Solana. Smart money have been allocating to Solana since $8. They are in massive profit. They will take profit as much as they want. $8 to 15 to 25, a lengthy accumulation, down as low as 13 to 30 to 18. This breakout was when it was undeniably bullish Sol. It then went to 45, people thought it was done. It then went to 50, thought it was done. It went to 62, thought it was done. And it keeps going. It will be done eventually. There will be a decent correction eventually. It will have a nice pullback. The altcoin market will go into a multi-month correction. But the nature of markets is that they don't just go up or down in a straight line, and you can play the bounces. Now, I really discourage anybody from shorting. I haven't shorted on a high time frame, right, outside of scalps or day trades, and even those I've probably done. Out of my main portfolio, my main trading, I've probably taken 5% short trades in the last month. Everything else is long. Wait for your correction, get long. Because these bounces are very significant, right? A Solana rally, and even if you're trading spot only, long only, if you get a nice reclaim of 58, 59, it's a 15% price move just to go up into a bearish retest. And it's a 30, 20, 30, 40% rally into new highs. That's significant. Trying to short here to catch a potential 25% down move, but knowing that price can just keep going higher because we're in a parabolic uptrend, it's negative EV. It's not good. Not good. Your expected value is negative. So, as a trader, my approach for the next year and a half at least, is I'm either long or I am flat. So my trading portfolio, I'm either long or I'm in cash for anything on a more than a 1 day basis. A day trade, if I get a short, I'll take a short, sure. But anything else, multi-day holds, long or flat, long or flat, long or flat. Just drill that into your head. Long or flat. The time for shorts will come, but the time for shorts is way after. Right? You get literally 18 months of shorting, or probably 14, 15 months of shorting. Really into the Solana capitulation, that was the last time you want to short. So Sol's is probably about a year. Right? It was sort of November to November. So it's 370 days. Loads of time to think of shorts. Now is not that time. Because from the lows of 2020, there was 320 days where it was longs. Long. Long or flat. Long or flat. Long or flat. Right? Drill that into your head. So that's what I'm looking at here on Sol. And the same applies across the market. So that's Solana. Injective, and you want to look at Sol, Injective, and Link, I believe, because they're the three majors that have had the biggest price moves. And Injective is doing the same. It's now pushing to the highs. And here's the squiggle I drew a few days ago, which I'd be looking at for Injective. I think that's the 200-day that I had marked. Yeah. Injective could be pushing now into a nice final extension. All-time high, I think there's 25. Yeah, that's all-time high up at 25. Maybe it reaches all-time high. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it corrects back down to the 200-day. If it pushes up to there, back to 200-day, that's 42% drop. That's a great time to get long if it holds. And so you certainly don't want to short a parabolic runaway here, but you don't need to be getting long either. You can be watching this. You can be scalping it long. You can be trading long if your systems tell you. But be on the lookout for false breakouts, first of all. Right? False breakouts into corrections, into final extensions. Or, of course, it could just be done from here, and that's us. It could be either of them. I would, my base case is the blue lines, where we have a false breakout, then another high, because this is the first breakout attempt on Injective. Usually, the first one will fail, but it also won't be the top. Usually, the first one will fail, we'll come back, we'll go again. And so that's that's Injective, and that's Sol, and then Chainlink, which I think is not breaking out yet. It's pushing towards it. Yeah, it hasn't broke out yet. So Chainlink again, same thing. You want to have your eyes on new 2023 highs on all of these coins, and then just be watching, right? So don't need to repeat myself for Link, same thing. But keep your eyes on these 200 days. The 200 days are now inflecting upwards nicely. They're gonna keep rising over the next few weeks or months. And again, if Link comes up, down, up, and then into a deeper correction, it'll find its way back over to there in the coming weeks or months. And again, a nice 40 to 50% correction can be had across the board. You do not need to short it. 45% is nothing, right? If your focus has been on the 187% move, which could be a 237% move, and then getting into cash, and then waiting, and buying the next dip, that's your highest probability, right? Because from there, it's fucking all-time highs that the market's going to be targeting. Now, will Link reach all-time highs? I don't know. But certainly, if you're patient and you wait for deep corrections in the 200-day holds and you get allocated into spot Link again, you're looking at 100, 200, 300% moves. So don't miss the forest for the trees. Don't get caught in bearish mindsets. And outside of that, other coins will be doing whatever they're doing. But I would say when you're looking at, and look at this, it's just so strong. The total 3 is going to smash through 450. Now, Is it going to break out and just run forever? I mean, it's been up only since 19th of October. It's not going to go up only forever. There can be a deep correction again on alts, 30, 40% across the board, very easily. So again, it doesn't mean short alts, but certainly you want to have your eyes drawn closely onto Total 3 whenever it breaks out of these August 2022 highs, 450. If we're looking at these round numbers, which look how well they've played, 300 to 350. Reclaim 350, we go to 400. Hold 400, we push to 450. What happens when we push 450? Well, the eyes are drawn to 500. Will we reach it? Who knows? But that's your next target. Maybe we pull up short of 500. Maybe we blast through it. Keep it simple. And from there, you're going to be pushing into, we're about 6 weeks now into a rally, kind of end of mid-October, and we're now in mid-December. We're almost 8 weeks in, 7-8 weeks in. If we go for another 2-3 weeks, we're getting towards a 2 or 2.5, 3 month rally. That's a significant rally, right? If you look at, I'll go to total for the whole market cap of all crypto. Like this year, from, let's take it from the FTX lows to the peak of here. We had a 146-day uptrend, but it was obviously much less impulsive. It was choppier, right? None of this was looking great. This was disbelief, bear trap, rallied up. 146 days. That's 3 months, 3.5 months. That's pretty significant. Back in previous bear markets, going into bull, we had a rally here that lasted 194 days. We had a second little rally here that was much shorter, that was about 60 days. Right, we've gone beyond that, or we're getting towards that level now. And then we had a significant rally from the COVID lows, but this was after a major capitulation, 157 days before it sold off into a little consolidation. And then of course we had the up only, everything just smashes higher forever. Will that happen? I mean, potentially, but for that to happen, you would want to see a big breakout and then a correction like this. So if you do manage, like if we do see a fucking huge move around the ETF or whatever, and alts go, or the whole market goes parabolic into January, and then goes into a corrective phase for a couple months like that, sure, maybe there's no pullback. Maybe that's it and we push towards all them highs. That can happen. But if it does, you still want to be looking out for this correction, right? So, reduce the leverage, spot or flat, and protect your capital. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You have hundreds of days of bull market ahead of you, and you don't want to make any one day matter by fucking it up. So, GM, see you all later on the live stream, 5 p.m. UTC.